Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bullshit Busters, and today I actually found some interesting news out, and I wanted to look into it myself, and I'm seeing that this is actually kind of a legit thing. Um, let's see. Okay, so U.S. warships have been spotted in the South China Sea, and that is disputed territory. Okay? And although I was going to do a video on the kind of coronavirus and what I've seen so far, what I've heard so far, and kind of the sources for that, I actually found this to be a much more concerning and much more pressing matter. Should you stay informed about the coronavirus and what's going on with it? Sure, absolutely. But there are plenty more news sources and things that you can tap into to get news on the coronavirus, real news. Make sure you're not tapping into fake news, but um, definitely go get educated on, if nothing else, by medical experts on the coronavirus. And you guys kind of do what you need to do. Stay safe out there, stay healthy, of course. But today, this is a matter that I'm not seeing put on the forefront of news. Like, I'm not seeing a lot of people hearing about this or speaking about this. And I kind of wanted to talk about this because this is actually really concerning. Right here, because I even just looked up the topic on Google, because I didn't know if it was true. People were saying, I heard rumors saying, oh, that warships were spotted on the South China Sea. And I was like, oh, no, that can't be. That's probably not the case. I look it up. The New York Times, 10 hours ago, it says, as of now, let's see, April 22nd, 12:18 in the morning. U.S. warships enter disputed waters of South China Sea as tensions with China escalate. These are headlines at first, so we'll look at some articles in just a second. The Hill. Navy says two ships deployed to South China Sea amid tensions. And even 6 days ago, U.S. military planes spotted after China sends naval ships past Taiwan. Now, that was a response to what China was doing, to be fair. U.S. military operations in South China Sea raise risk of confrontation. What the hell is going on? What is going on down there? Let's see if we can read this one without paying for it. The move comes as a war of words between the United States and China over the coronavirus pandemic intensifies. Let's see. The view of Scarborough Shoal, now effectively controlled by China. The Chinese government has made vast claims that the South China Sea that conflict with demarcations made by five other governments. Okay, so the article says American warships have sailed into disputed waters in the South China Sea, according to military analysts, heightening a standoff in the waterway and sharpening the rivalry between the United States and China, even as much of the world is in lockdown because of the coronavirus. The America and amphibious or no, oh, the America, an amphibious assault ship, and the Bunker Hill, a guided missile cruiser, entered contested waters of Malaysia. At the same time, a Chinese government ship in the area has for days been tailing a Malaysian state oil company ship carrying out exploratory drilling. Chinese and Australian warships have also powered into nearby waters, according to the defense experts. Australian, I wouldn't be too worried about. I guess that would be, uh, kind of to our aid, I hope. But the Chinese ships, that's more concerning. Despite working to control a pandemic that spread from China earlier this year, Beijing has not reduced its activities in the South China Sea, a strategic waterway through which 1/3 of global shipping flows. Instead, the Chinese government's years-long pattern of assertiveness has only intensified, military analysts said. It's quite a deliberate Chinese strategy to try and maximize what they perceive as being a moment of distraction, and the reduced capability of the United States to pressure neighbors, said Peter Jennings, a former Australian defence official who is the executive director of the Australian Strategic Police Institute. So Australia apparently caught wind of this and was like, no, we're not going to let you fucking bully people just because the United States has shit going on. Wow, thanks, Australia, for having our back. Since January, when the coronavirus epidemic began to surge, the Chinese government and Coast Guard ships, along with maritime militias, have been plying contested waters in the South China Sea, tangling with regional maritime enforcement agencies and harassing fishermen. Uh-oh. Earlier this month, the Vietnamese accused a Chinese patrol ship of ramming and sinking a Vietnamese fishing boat. Uh-oh. Last month, China opened 2 new research stations on artificial reefs it has built on maritime turf claimed by the Philippines and others. The reefs are also equipped with defense silos and military-grade runways. Uh-oh. Over the weekend, the Chinese government announced that it had formally established 2 new districts in the South China Sea that include dozens of contested islets and reefs. Many are submerged bits of atoll that do not confer territorial rights according to international law. It seems that even as China was fighting a disease outbreak, it was also thinking in terms of its long-term strategic goals, which everybody should have been doing, said Alexander Vuving, a professor at the Daniel K. Inouye Asia Pacific Center for Security Studies in Honolulu. The Chinese want to create a new normal in the South China Sea where they are in charge, and to do that they become more and more aggressive. I just wanted to touch on that because the fact that we are entering their territory and we are making our presence known, and Australia is backing us up to make our presence known, and that they were, Australia was seemingly tracking down China on this for a while. This is a very concerning bit of information to observe. Guys, that's crazy. We are entering tense territory, which means tense times with the Chinese. And even though I don't think it's going to lead to outright war, because if China went to war with us, they would eliminate their debt with us. I do think this is an attempted power grab by the Chinese, because the Chinese don't think that they accidentally let coronavirus hit the U.S. soil. They did not accidentally let it hit our soil. It was with intent that it hit our soil. Why do you think it hit so hard? And why do you think the Chinese government waited so long to release an official statement? It basically wasn't until it was actually happening here that they said anything about it. And they were like, oh, well, we told you, so do with that what you will. No. They were arresting people that were trying to tell us about this way before it ever hit our soil. They were arresting Chinese whistleblowers that were sitting here trying to warn us and saying, no, these guys are spreading rumors. Why would there be a manufactured virus that could easily be spread to you, being given to your tourists here and stuff? Why would we do that? Listen, I know better. I'm not stupid. I'm not oblivious to what's going on. China is commencing on all intents and purposes economic warfare. This is economic warfare. It's not direct warfare, but think about it. China sends us cyber attacks all the time. They're constantly trying to attack us when it comes to cybersecurity and stuff like that. We are constantly fending off shit from their attacks on cybersecurity. What better way to cripple a nation without even sending a single bullet flying than by continuing to bombard their cybersecurity front, and then in turn manufacture a way to destroy their economy, to cripple the American economy, to bring people to their knees, lose 22 million Americans lost their jobs over the coronavirus pandemic and counting. And this is not even over. This is not even the half of it. It's not done. People are still going to keep losing their jobs. Businesses are still going to suffer because even though the government is trying to give businesses relief in stimulus funding, they can't accommodate to every single business. There's no way. So more and more businesses are going to fail. More and more businesses are going to shut down. More and more people are left without work in intense and scary times. A lot of people don't know what to make of all this. Nobody really knows what's going on. What a better time to cripple the American economy and the American capacity to do much anything. Because they're trying to, Donald Trump and all the government are trying to focus on getting things corrected here on the home front so that we can keep doing what we need to do. He's trying to make sure, our government and our medical experts are trying to make sure we're all safe and that everything is going to kind of play out well and that everybody stays as safe as possible. And, of course, with that being done, there's a lot on the plate here in America. The federal government isn't going to see everything. Maybe they don't really. I mean, the fact that U.S. naval ships are there shows that they kind of know something's going on. But I feel like it would have been Australia that advised us that this is happening, including from when that ship scooted past Taiwan and started treading toward U.S. territory. These are scary times, people. And I'm not trying to scare. I'm not trying to fearmonger. You shouldn't be too scared. Because, like I said, this isn't going to equate directly and inherently to global war. China is commencing their usual bullshit with cyber attacks, and now they're engaging in economic warfare. They're trying to make a power grab to become the greatest financial superpower on the planet. And what better way to do that, like I said, than crippling the economy of the nation that held the top? Their only real opponent that stands in the way of them making such a massive, hard power grab, both in territory and in the stance of being an epic economic superpower. More so than us. What could that mean? People ask. Why would it matter if China becomes more prevalent than us in regards to having a greater economic hold and having the dominant economy? Because things would entirely change. Our trade would change entirely. Things would be on their playing field based on their rules and their rules only when it comes to trade and other foreign issues regarding money. We have a massive debt to China. Just so you guys know, it's in the trillions. And they are going to superimpose that on us if they get to be the dominant power. They're going to superimpose that, and instead of commencing an act of war that by law would then void any debt we have with them, instead of doing that, they're just outright going ahead and saying, you know what, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cripple your economy so we can just try and become the dominant superpower and we can have control over you that way. Do not be distracted, guys. Like, there is shit going on here that is beyond the coronavirus, that is beyond the local home front news. Am I saying not to be aware of it? Am I saying to blow it off and not to be cautious? No, definitely not. Always be cautious. Always do what you need to do. But just be aware that this is no insignificant act. China is not acting insignificantly. They're not doing nothing. They're not playing nice. They're not up to innocent things, I guess is what I'm saying. So just be advised, okay? Be advised that this is going to lead to something greater. This is going to lead to something. This is massive tension between us and China right now. And in that regard, I hope the federal government is paying attention. I hope they see what's going on, and I hope they're taking the appropriate countermeasures to do what they can to break this down and to avoid the distractions of the coronavirus as much as possible. Address the coronavirus, yes. Do what you have to do to resolve the situation, yes. Make sure people are staying healthy, yes. But also be protective of the economy. Be protective of the American people at this time. I reach out, please, in a plea to. I hope the U.S. government does the right thing here and focuses on protecting ourselves and our allies from any potential economic power grab or economic warfare China's trying to engage in, and that we can resolve this without hurting anyone and without anyone getting hurt. So we will see as time goes. Definitely going to follow up on this development. It looks like this is the most recent news. That aircraft, the U.S. aircrafts being spotted near Chinese ships, that seems to be like a slightly older article. It was from about 6 days ago. And then as of today, we're seeing, U.S. warships entering South China Sea. Keep your eyes open, guys. This is going to be some crazy shit. And although you should keep your eyes open on the coronavirus, this is something else to look at. Definitely something else to look at and keep your eyes on developments. And, who knows what this means, but we will probably learn soon enough. So, all of you stay safe out there. All of you, I'm going to wrap up this video. I've been kind of ranting for long enough. All of you guys stay safe out there. All of you guys kind of stay aware of what's going on. Avoid fake news. Make sure that you're staying safe, keeping your family safe. When you're going to go out, I'm not going to say, oh, you should stay at home always or forever. I'm not saying that. When you go out, practice social distancing. Just be safe. Just be cautious. And prevent yourself from getting sick and bringing it home to your family. If anything else, it would be an inconvenience to you guys. And I beg you, please, please, please pay attention to what's going on around you. And like I said, avoid the fake news as much as possible. I will do my best to protect you guys from that and call fake news out for what it is when I see it. And also inform you guys of stuff that maybe the media isn't bringing to the forefront. Because the New York Times doesn't seem to be pushing this article to the forefront. They don't seem to be making this the most prevalent thing. I had to go out of my way and search it to find it from any news source. So they are talking about it. They're just not making it apparent that they're talking about it. So spread the word, man. Spread the word about this South China Sea thing. And let people know to read these articles and to stay informed about the happenings, not just about the coronavirus, because the coronavirus is not the only issue going on in this world. Not everything just ceases to exist because the coronavirus is a problem. So, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to share. I'm here to do as much as I can every day to inform you guys of what's going on and break down fake news. And I'm going to continue to do so. I'm not done tonight. I'm going to do a couple more things because prevalent information is being released without people seeing it due to the coronavirus. I would want to get as much of that out as possible without without delay. And that way, the sooner you guys can see the information, the sooner you guys can understand what's going on around. And not just here, but everywhere else. And then, once I do that, maybe you guys will have a better chance of seeing what the media is probably suppressing. And then on top of that, of course, I'm going to continue to look for fake news to expose for you guys and reveal the truth on the matter. And that's the whole intention of this channel. I'm excited to keep it going. And to keep it going, I need your guys' help. I need you guys to make me understand that this is useful to you. That you can utilize this. And that you do want somebody to speak as an independent source of busting the fucking fake news. Because that's what we need to do. In any case, I will catch you on the flip side. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.